Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. It's Friday night here in Spain, and of course, a lot of people have heard the news about the Princess of Wales. So, this video is really all about that. Firstly, I just love her so much. I love her, I love William, I love the royal family more than ever. Secondly, trolls and journalists and legacy media, as Elon Musk calls them, hang your heads in shame, especially Christopher Boozy and Omid Scobie, who put a countdown on his Twitter feed, just relishing it, just loving it. Now, I've got to say, and don't get me wrong, I do hold Boozy and Omid and Meghan and Harry and Ellie Hall and all of them responsible for the stress that has been put on the royal family. Let's not forget Prince Philip and Oprah. I hold her responsible as well, and everyone else. Prince Philip was just shy of 100 years old, and immense pressure, lot of shit from when Meghan entered the family, lot of shit. Our late Majesty, I thought she would go on at least another 4 years. Then last November, while Graham and I were in London, while Graham was having massive surgery for cancer, Endgame comes out and Omid Scobie names Catherine and King Charles. And that's months ago, but then with ill health and stress, our King and our Princess of Wales have both been diagnosed with cancer. Now, having said that, I don't believe that stress in itself can bring on cancer. God knows what brings on cancer. No one knows. And I do have to say words of defence for Meghan, Harry, Omid, Christopher Boozy and Ellie Hall and the other dickheads. I fear for Meghan and Harry's safety and security right now, because they are going to become unfairly more hated than ever. I actually fear for Christopher Boozy and Ellie Hall and Omid Scobie, because they've been such utter twats. And in light of the news that's come out tonight, they're going to get a lot of shit. Now, a lot of you guys in the comments, me, Graham, we're not the sort of people to, go out and do anything radical, but there are people out there who might do something radical, and it is so important for everybody to not overreact or blame game, pointing fingers and stuff. But it's hard, isn't it? It's hard. And I think the Princess of Wales is so brave, and I completely understand that she had to deal with a diagnosis. Medical problems, they're not just like quick Instagram loving speed. Speaking of which, there's only 9 beige squares, but when people are dealing with medical problems, it doesn't just happen like in a few days or week. You have to wait for decisions. So when people say, oh, these trolls, they're like, why didn't she say before? Oh, fuck off. I've actually seen Sugar's posts on Twitter, and I've gone to click on them, and they've actually deleted them before I can even read the comments. I mean, there are, it's not just the Princess of Wales, it's a lot of you guys, everybody and anybody. And I love that the princess ended her message by saying that she wishes everybody well who's been touched by cancer. I just loved that her final thought was for people who've been touched by it. And this is what I mean when I'm a monarchist. And the royal family are great levellers. You know, we've got the hoi polloi, we've got the MPs in the Commons, and we've got the House of Lords, and we've got all these rich people in Silicon Valley, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk. The royal family are a great leveller, and they are a representation of us. Okay, they live in castles and palaces, but they are human. And this is a moment like when Princess Diana died, although cancer is not a death sentence. It's not. And the princess herself, Princess Catherine, has said that she is getting stronger every day and that it's going to be fine. And I know it will be fine. She's young, she is strong, she has all the odds in her favour. But of course, it hits home, and I'm certain it will hit home for a lot of you guys that either have worries and you're thinking about whether to go to the doctor or not, or you have been diagnosed and you have a treatment plan, or whether you have loved ones and you have had good experiences, bad experiences. I mean, cancer is really varied, and I think that unfortunately a lot of people think cancer is a death sentence, and it's not. It's really not. It's a condition that is treatable, and as Graham's often said, the earlier people get checked out, the better. Of course, it doesn't always work out that way, but even when, like in Graham's case, it was actually, it's quite late stages, I can't say. And do you know what? I won't say. I won't infringe on Graham's medical history. The trolls, like we have these sugar trolls that have had a right go at Graham, and I'm certain they never would have done if I hadn't started this YouTube channel. They, as you all know, he was diagnosed in May last year. He had chemotherapy throughout the summer last year, and then we went to London and he had surgery in November last year. Then we came back for Christmas and we did the lives, and it was during January, that we were watching, and unfortunately there were two prominent YouTubers who were joining in as well and saying, Graham never had cancer, Graham never had cancer, and that was really hurtful. So we can deeply appreciate the pain that William and Catherine have been through from Omid Scobie and Christopher Boozy and bastards like that. And oh, just for the record, Graham is not on a waiting list for a liver transplant, as one of the trolls particularly has liked to suggest, and Graham is not an alcoholic. It was nothing to do with his liver, but no, trolls, we're not going to tell you exactly what sort of cancer Graham had. And no, trolls, as one of you disgusting little reptiles suggested, we are not going to list the names of all Graham's surgeons so that you can report them to the medical committee and have them struck off for joining in on the conspiracy that Graham never had cancer. No. And I will respect one of the YouTubers who emailed me and apologised over all this. But the thumbnail, the thing of Graham is a pyro with the teeth. Yeah, I thought I'd put that up because they all had a bloody good laugh. There were two prominent two big YouTubers, not of the Megxit community, who had a fucking good laugh. And as Graham's self-esteem was pretty low, and they were also having a go at our daughter, yeah, I am going to use that as a thumbnail. And I'll tell you one thing, well, a lot of things Graham never did. Graham never cried. He was like the Princess of Wales. He never cried. I was there with him the day of the diagnosis. And I hated that guy who diagnosed him because I didn't want to hear it. But the guy was, you know, nice. Graham never cried, never complained, never said a word. If anything, I was more of a complainer and a moaner. He never said a word. And I'll tell you something else he never did. He never set up a GoFundMe. Oh, I've got cancer. I'm not criticising people who do set up GoFundMes for cancer, but he never set up any kind of a GoFundMe. He never asked anybody for money. He never did any of those things. And yeah, I see other little bitches complaining, kicking off over it. Oh my God, I don't know what. Setting up GoFundMes. Fuck off. Fuck off. Get a priority in life. And the Princess of Wales, Graham and her have a great affinity. I know Graham has a great affinity with her, a great love of her. So do I, and William, and what they must be going through. And Christopher Boosy's got a fucking cheek, quite frankly. Now he's there, tweet, 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 panicking, panicking, panicking. He's going to become the world's most famous troll. And Omid Scobie, cheeky little plastic doll shit, was putting a countdown on his Twitter. And also Vanessa Phillips, I see now on Talk TV. Oh, I love William and Catherine. Well, I've seen a different side to Vanessa Phelps. I remember her having a go at Angela Levin. You're just a gossip. I love Meghan and Harry. I do fear for Meghan and Harry. I do, because they basically, as I have said in several videos, including back when I was in London, why not pull the wings off some butterflies? Why not drown some kittens? Why not stamp on some puppies? Well, you know, Catherine, I am confident will be fine. It's a leveller. Cancer doesn't care about who you are, what money, where you come from. And what I love about the way the princess was, she has an air of Our Late Majesty, that she gave me a very reassuring feeling, a very calming feeling. And that's how we should be as human beings. And I wish her well, and prayers. And I hope all of the sugars hang their heads in fucking shame, because they deserve to hang their heads in shame. But I do worry for Harry and Meghan's safety at the same time, because a lot of people are going to feel emotional, and I hope nobody's going to be like crazy wild. And I do worry. And I worry about lynch mobs, and I worry about pitchforks and people getting carried away. But I mean, a lot of this is, oh God, has just brought it all back. All of last year. So thank God Graham came through it. Totally stoic, totally brave. I'm certain the princess will. And if any of you out there are facing surgery, fearful, you've got symptoms, not sure about whether to go to the doctor, or you've been to the doctor, you've had a scan, you're fearful for results, just don't be, okay? Because cancer is not a death sentence. It's just not that simple. Cancer's a very loose term. You know, we've got all kinds of organs, and there can be a little bit here, a little bit there, and you just don't know, and everything is very different. And tomorrow, I'll probably do a very candid video with Graham. I don't think he's going to tell anybody what kind of cancer he's had before, but I think he probably will talk about the chemotherapy, and we do have some secret cancer videos and stuff, and he might edit some stuff in so that anybody out there who's feeling apprehensive, a little bit scared of chemo, stuff like that, what to expect, what not to expect. I mean, it's just our experience. It might not necessarily be applicable, but I am so proud of Catherine. God bless our Princess of Wales. God bless her. God bless William, George, Charlotte, Louis, and of course the extended family. Thank you very much for listening.